Good morning to you. Look, this is a dreadful situation. It's going to require a big international response, isn't it?
It's an absolutely appalling situation, but it is so heartening to see the incredibly brave and stiff resistance that the Ukrainians are putting up. The Ukrainian forces are clearly outgunned by Russia, but there's no doubt that they are passionately committed to defending their country. And if Mr. Putin thinks that this was going to be some kind of cakewalk where he was just going to be walking in and greeted with open arms by the Ukrainian people, he has clearly got another think coming. 150,000 Russian soldiers is not enough to occupy a country of 44 million people that's bigger than France. Even if he manages to take one or two of the big cities, he will be up against then a very strong insurgency against him. There will be hundreds, if not thousands, of young Russian men going home in body bags, and the resistance to Mr. Putin in Russia will begin to grow. So I think that he has made a deeply damaging strategic mistake in all of this, and he's shown his true colours, which he has, of course, been doing for some years now. And it's time for the West to stand together and stand against him, and that is what we will do.
Absolutely. But while we applaud, obviously, and admire the incredible courage of the Ukrainians, there are a lot of families having to flee, and they're doing so. We've seen the incredible queues of cars along the roads trying to get out and over a border. We've seen people getting on trains. And what is so remarkable about them is they look just like us. They just happen to live in Ukraine, and right now they're fleeing. Poland has been very generous and been welcoming them in. Other countries too. But they're going to be in such vast numbers that surely we in Britain are going to have to think about how we respond to the refugees.
Well, our understanding is that the vast majority of people who are coming into those bordering countries wish to stay there because their plan is to go back to Ukraine as soon as the occupying Russian forces have been defeated and expelled from that country, from their country. So I think the priority has to be now in giving maximum humanitarian and logistical support to the bordering countries. Poland, as you say, has been incredibly generous in the way that it's effectively said, our borders are open and Ukrainians who wish to flee their country will be welcome here. So, we understand that the vast majority of them wish to stay. The Foreign Secretary and the Home Secretary should now be reaching out to their counterparts in Poland and Romania and Slovakia and those other bordering countries to get a really clear and coordinated plan in place for what Britain can do with our other European allies and partners to support those governments. And once we're clear about how many may wish to move on from those countries and potentially come to the United Kingdom, then of course we have to be ready to provide safe and legal passage. But as I say, our understanding is that the vast majority of those refugees are going to want to stay in those bordering countries.